her to find the Pokemon, and they're driving around, and she goes, well, there's none on your screen. And he stopped the car, he looked at the screen, and he said there was nothing there, so he got so mad, and he slammed the phone down on the and destroyed his phone on the pavement.
Yeah.
And then she said, oh, well, it's just a joke. She explained it to him, and he just left her there. And
Oh man, that's unbelievable! I couldn't believe that. Actually, that was a recording. This is now live. Vanessa is in the studio. Vanessa Lane Jennings, and of course, you know Vanessa. I'm going to introduce you because you just, for those who this is the way radio works. It's either live or taped. It was taped just now, and now it's live.
Right.
Unless, of course, you're listening to a rerun, which of course that could be taped too.
This is like the best of all worlds.
It's July 29th. Now you know it's a live show if your calendar says July 29th. Vanessa is in the studio, and this is an opportunity for you to ask questions. The number is 622-9622. Good morning, Vanessa.
Good morning.
What can I do to make your life a little easier? You seem to be flustered.
You can take over my calendaring for me.
Oh,
Calendaring is crazy.
the calendaring person expert is right there. The lady in the pink top.
But what if I steal her away from you?
Then I would cry.
Well, then I don't want to do that. I don't want to make you cry.
What would you do if I cried?
I would try to make it better. Same thing I would do when anybody cries. I'd try to make it better.
Would you hold me?
Nope.
Physically?
I would stay a good arm's
Really?
distance away.
Would it be all talk, all words?
No, I'm very proactive.
Well, what would you do if you're not talking and you're not touching? What are you doing?
No, I'll talk to you. Well, no.
Oh, you will talk.
Well, I'm going to
Okay.
find out what the issue is, and then I'm going to be proactive and solve the problem. Same thing I would do with a client.
What if I'm crying out of happiness? Then what do you do?
Solve the problem. Why are you happy? Clearly, there's something wrong.
No, that has happened. You've cried out of happiness, haven't you?
Probably not.
Yes, you have.
No, I don't. I'm not a crier. Like, I can't even tell you the last time I cried.
What about, okay. Really? Nothing
Yeah.
ever gets you to cry?
Not real. Only like my dad when he gets mad at me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, you don't
yeah.
want your dad to get
Right,
mad
my
at you.
mom can get mad at me
You know what
every
that
single
means?
day of the week.
You know what that means? You love your dad.
I do.
Because if you didn't, then you wouldn't care if he got mad at you.
Right. No, my mom could yell. Well, I love my mom too, but she could yell at me every day of the week. That's the fact. I just.
Which of you two parents is the one you want approval from? They always say.
Both.
Oh, both. Okay.
Yeah.
They always say there's one parent more than the other that we are all of our lives. That's what we want approval from. For me, it was my dad, clearly, and I wanted my mom to approve too. But it was like if I got it's like in music, for example. If I went anywhere and played, my mom's, oh, it was great. My dad said, no, you could have been better. It's like, oh man, it's so hard to get his approval.
Both my parents are the same. They're both like, you could do better. Well, you're supposed to do that. See, if I got an A, they're like, well, that was expected of you. If I got a B, it's, well, why didn't you get an A? So it was
really?
always
Really?
a constant struggle.
So we have a legal question for you.
Okay.
It's based on marijuana.
Okay.
The new marijuana laws, okay,
Right.
the medicinal marijuana, is that what they call it? The state of Florida says it's okay. The federal government says it's not okay.
Correct.
So that's a crazy situation. So what happens to the person? And this has
Don't leave the state of Florida with it.
So if you're in the state of Florida, a federal agent can't charge you with something?
Well, it's like it's legal in Colorado.
It's complete, but they have the same
But
circumstance,
they have the
don't
same
they?
circumstance. California has the same
Same circumstance.
You just don't leave your state.
Oh, so the federal, they just kind of look the other way, the federal guys?
Well, federal, yes and no. It only becomes a federal crime when you cross the border, because then it's two states, and which state has jurisdiction. Instead of getting a fight between the states, that's why they have federal laws.
Okay.
But for the most part, the 10th Amendment gives the states the power to regulate, so it's really a state issue.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, remind me what the 10th Amendment says.
It's your keeping the localized government to be able the power that's going to be able the one who's regulating, who's doing it.
Okay.
And the federal government has laws and rules and regulations, but they're not the day-to-day activities. They're like more broad-reaching, and I put that in completely plain English. It's not actually the verbiage, but
So do you use that in the courtroom, like if you're defending somebody, like let's
the 10th, no.
like let's say for example a teacher is using the curriculum of the state, but the country wants Common Core or whatever. I'm just using another hypothetical. could she or he get in trouble for doing that, and would they find themselves in jail? Did you hear about this guy with the Dunkin'? Wait.
And you're talking
sorry.
about the Krispy Kreme donuts.
Yeah. Did you hear about this guy?
They thought it was.
How did you know I was going there? I didn't say it yet.
Because you said the word Dunkin'. The only other word would go with that is donut. Because I might be a donut connoisseur. And
Did you hear about this guy?
yes, I did. Actually, I had two very good lawyer friends. One of which is my partners. Went ahead and sent me the link, and I've.
So for those who don't know the story, it was a guy in Florida. Where was he?
Palm Beach County.
Palm Beach. Was your old area?
That's my law partner's old area.
Okay.
I was in Miami-Dade.
So the policeman stops him because whatever. He sees the crumbs, the sugar from the crispy, and he says it looks like crystal meth, so he arrests him. The guy was going home, right? Told his wife, "No, I haven't had anything to eat yet, honey. Don't worry, I'm coming home."
Right, which is what we all say after we've had a hot Krispy Kreme.
I know.
I didn't buy you one, but I certainly ate two.
We are food cheaters.
Yes, we are.
I'm on my way home, honey. Did you eat? No, good, because I made a pot roast. Oh, great! And you have a double cheeseburger sitting on the passenger seat.
Sometimes 2 dinners is okay.
It is.
Yeah, but
You
see
just
the
gotta force
lie.
yourself.
So when he called her to say, "Honey, they arrested me. Why? Crystal meth? What? That's crazy. You would never do that. It wasn't crystal meth. It was the sugar from the Krispy Kremes. You're staying in there. I'm not
Jail
coming
for
to
you.
get you."
You can just stay in jail because you clearly didn't buy me a Krispy Kreme. And see, our whole concern was, wouldn't the cop be an expert to know that was actually Krispy Kreme donut and not crystal meth? Because
Does it really look that similar?
He should be an expert in what Krispy Kreme donuts look like.
Have you seen crystal meth?
Have I seen crystal meth?
Yeah.
Yes, but I've seen a tinted version of crystal meth, not a clear white crystal meth.
Does it look like Krispy Kreme donuts?
Maybe, possibly. Similar, but
Wow.
I mean, it would have been like he must have had like a chunk and like on
I
top
know.
of each other.
It must have fallen out of his shirt.
He was so hungry for that. It was the hot donut.
Well, this
sign.
is what happens.
You just-
A sugar donut can look like cocaine,
Yeah.
True story.
right?
Yep.
Robin's like, yes.
You got cocaine on
that
you.
answer, but yes.
Get out of the car. I'm sorry, it was a sugar donut.
So would that guy come to you then, and would you be able to build a case to sue the police department? I mean, is it worth your time to do something like that?
Well, that's not whether you would sue the police department, but I mean, I guess you could.
Or the
but
city or something.
But the police officer was doing his job, if that's what he honestly believed it was. But here's the thing, they probably didn't field test it, which is a normal step that they would take. They would normally field test it, and if it would come back negative, because I don't think there would be anything in a Krispy Kreme donut that would test positive. Now, if it did, let's just say it did test positive, then he made the police officer thought he was making a lawful arrest at that point in time.
Oh,
So no judgmental here.
We sent it to FDLA.
No political, no judgmental. I'm just curious. Did you have a good feminist Christmas yesterday? Didn't
No,
it-
yesterday was a bad day.
They called it Feminist Christmas when Hillary got nominated.
It was a bad day. It had nothing to do with Hillary.
So, are you happy that she was nominated? I mean, everybody saw it coming. Are you a supporter? I don't want to put you on the spot, but
Well, I mean, here's my problem with just calling it a feminist Christmas. She's not the first female who's been nominated for the presidency.
she's not.
Right.
Oh, in a major party.
Well, back then it was still kind of a major party.
Elizabeth Dole, she was nominated. They didn't.
No, she
They
wasn't.
didn't win. I mean, she didn't go there, but
No, she
Oh.
ran. She wasn't nominated. No.
Oh.
Victoria Woodall. We're going back to 1800s, y'all. Sorry. But that.
I think I remember hearing this once before. Yeah.
So she ran. Yeah. Thank you, University of Florida, for my arcane knowledge of Florida and United
Nice.
States politics.
What was her name?
Victoria Woodall.
Woodall. Okay.
And she ran. But so I mean, and there's been other serious people who have run at various other times who, whether or not they received the nomination, they have run either through an independent party where you don't necessarily need a nomination, you just run. So I mean, that's my problem with calling it a
And there
feminist
is
Christmas.
a female
Yeah.
nominee is it the Green Party right now? Jill Stein.
Yeah.
I think she's in the Green Party. Yeah, she's a viable candidate.
Right.
got less than 15% support, but
But she's still viable in the Green Party.
yeah, right.
But how can people legally take labels like that and make it seem it's okay with everybody?
Because no one pays attention or questions.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't give my opinion on that.
Yeah.
For the record, that is my personal opinion, not my legal opinion.
Are you okay? We need to take a little break. I know we didn't talk long,
No,
but
it's fine.
because you arrived late. Well, so we'll be right back. Vanessa Lane Jennings is here. If you would like to talk to Vanessa off the air, then my recommendation is go to her office. It is at 2945 Northeast 3rd Street on the second floor, and that's where you'll find the Jennings Law Firm. And Vanessa will be there to answer your questions, but don't go Monday because she's very busy.
I will not be in the office at all on Monday.
But if you give a call, they can make an appointment for you and you can show up. The phone number over there is 804-0092. We'll take a break. The number here is 622-9622, and we'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Sun mixing with clouds today. There'll be a spotty thunderstorm in the afternoon and evening, high 90 to 94. Patchy clouds tonight, low 74 to 76. Partly sunny for tomorrow and Sunday with an afternoon thunderstorm around each day, high 90 to 94 tomorrow and 88 to 92 Sunday. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Heather Zayer.
Attention passengers for Flight 1370. The plane has been delayed at its departure point and will be at least 2 hours late. We apologize for any inconvenience.
Are you serious? It took us over an hour to get here, 2 hours going through security and getting our tickets, and now we have to wait another 2 hours.
Yeah, it's beautiful here, but we're inside this overcrowded airport all day because the plane is stuck in bad weather.
This is the last time we ever do this. When we get back, we're going to Cal Aviation and getting our pilot's license.
Yeah, we've been talking about that long enough. It's about time we did it. Then we could just fly ourselves and never have to deal with this mess again.
Right. No long lines, no full body groping security, no baggage checks.
Not to mention never losing your luggage. Remind me again why we haven't done that?
Well, we're idiots.
Oh, right.
Attention all passengers for Flight 1370. It looks like the plane is going to be delayed a little bit longer. The airline has lost the pilot's luggage. Isn't it time you got your pilot's license? Call Ocala Aviation today. 352-861-7484. That's 352-861-7484. Hey, you've earned it. Call today.
Career Source Citrus Levy Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source Citrus Levy Marion and learn how they can help you.
All right, 9 minutes before 11 o'clock. Vanessa Lane Jennings is in the studio. We're talking about the law and everything else. And the show is called Legal Lane. Vanessa.
Yes.
There was a story last week or so about a woman in Ohio, I think.
Okay.
And she had a pin. She's an attorney. She's in the courtroom, and she's got a pin that says Black Lives Matter. Very, very classy, not unobtrusive, or whatever the word is. And so the judge says, you take that off or I'm going to charge you with contempt of court. And she doesn't and he does.
Okay.
So you, as an attorney, I mean, you're really under the gun when you're in that courtroom, aren't you? That's a different world.
Well, that's his world, or her world. I'm sorry, I said that was his world first, but it's their world. It's either his or her, whatever the judge happens to be. So if they say do this, you do that. They say women have to wear skirt suits, women have to wear skirt suits. There was a judge in Miami who did that for a while. They didn't like pantsuits.
Oh.
Really?
And whether you could fight it and you could take it all the way up, but until that comes back, you do what they say.
Really? So,
But I mean, that's rare.
So what is the... Why? You brought up the Constitution earlier. I mean, what about the freedom of speech? I mean, isn't that an expression of speech on a pin?
I would say 100% yes, and that's something that she can go and look into.
Okay.
But it's one of those things, until you fight it, you take it off until you fight it, or you take it off and you get held in contempt of court, depending on what that judge will do.
And then you have a charge against you for the rest of your life?
Well, contempt of court's different because it was probably a civil contempt, not a criminal contempt. So
My gosh.
I don't know, and I say
This is
probably
why we need
because
lawyers.
it's Ohio, and I can never say for sure because I definitely know nothing about Ohio law.
Right, it is Ohio.
I go all the way around Ohio when I travel. So that's because I went to law school in Michigan and they brainwash you about Ohio.
Really?
They do not like the state.
But didn't Cleveland look pretty in that Republican convention? No, I'm not saying the convention, but but where they were parking the boats in that waterfront, that was
It
so
did.
pretty.
However, I still would stay away.
Are you a Great Lake person? Do you know the Great Lakes?
I do know them, and I've been to 2 of them.
Robin knows them. She lived down the road from Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
I've never.
I've lived on both sides of Lake Michigan.
Have you? Mm-hmm. So that'd be where, Chicago?
Chicago and then Michigan, of course.
Oh, okay. Were you a Youper?
I was not a Youper. I was not. There's nothing wrong with Youpers. I have lots of good friends who are Youpers. But that is way too far.
I don't know
away.
anything about it. I just hear Robin talking about
Yeah,
it.
the Youpers.
Youpers.
They're their own breeds, but they're nice. They're very, very friendly. They're almost Canadian.
The whole group.
The whole group
There's
as
no.
a whole.
What
like
is that
Canadians,
new-
all Canadians.
What kind of news do they have? I mean,
I don't know if they have electricity. I have been told rumors. I don't know.
So
No,
the
for everyone out
newspaper
there, it's not
says
true.
that there's no news today that we can report. Nobody shot at anybody. That's like the Anne Murray song, A Little Good News.
It's just it's very sparse up there. That I'm saying from actuality. It's just there's a lot of land.
Well, they could report on the animals
snow.
then. I'm sure there's animals there.
Animal cruelty, yes.
Well, you had an interesting story about how you have to really rearrange everything when the courts say you have to be somewhere at a certain time. How come they can do that that
Of the-
quickly?
Because of the court. And my clients don't like the answer to that either. It
Oh,
really is
okay.
because of the court.
Uh-huh.
Like yesterday, there was 2 hearings that were put on the day before, and there was already client appointments that were scheduled. And some of them had been waiting a week or 2 for that appointment.
Mm-hmm.
And then those court dates got added at the very, very last moment, and then some of them ran over. One of them, I waited an hour for that 30-minute court.
Oh, my.
So what should have been 30 minutes ended up being almost 2.5 hours. So it just stacks your day up. But it's one of those things that when you're a trial lawyer, say the word right, when you're a trial lawyer, you're used to that.
So are court cases, if there are 2 or 3 different ones that the judge has to hear during the day, and 2 of the 3 run over time, and then it gets to be like after 5 o'clock, is that 3rd case put on to the next day, or do you stay there the whole day?
Oh, no, I've stayed there.
Uh-huh.
I started my 4 o'clock hearing about 2 weeks ago at about 5:15.
Oh, okay.
With the knowledge when the judge took the bench that he gets itchy after 5:30.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay.
That was all that was said. Now continue.
But they still have to stay there until it's all done for the day. They can't
did.
do it the next day or anything like that.
They could if they wanted to. He could or he or she could reschedule.
And when you're an attorney, do you prefer your cases first thing in the morning, or are you still up to snuff in the afternoon?
For me, it doesn't matter. First thing in the morning or late at night doesn't, because there's certain jurisdictions that even still do night court.
Oh,
They did it
really?
Back in the day.
Oh, wow. That's high anxiety then
No.
for the attorney.
Oh, it isn't even, no. Because you just plan, if it's done in advance, you just plan around it.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually okay with that.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay.
It's always fun. There's always fun and exciting things that happen there.
I remember as a kid going into the courtroom as a class. And we had to sit in the back, and we had to be quiet, and we were watching a cab driver, I think, on trial for something. He broke the law somehow, probably a traffic thing. And so, do we do that in Ocala? Do we have the classrooms that go for their I guess their social studies classes or whatever? They sit in the courtroom.
I know that back in the day they did, because I know that I went and I saw something here. But that was back in.
Do you remember the case you watched? See, I remember mine was a taxi cab driver.
I believe, looking back, I didn't think at the time I didn't realize it, but it was juvie. They had us going to a juvie case. I believe it was a domestic violence issue.
Oh, gosh.
Do you know, I used to work for the Juvenile Detention Center, and part of my job was to bring the kids to the courtroom and just kind of be there with them. And I wasn't the only one who did that. And so the judge one time, before the whole juvenile court started, there was a woman who showed up, and she was pregnant, and the judge, and you know the judge, but I'm not going to say his name on the air, and he said to her, "I don't ever want to see you pregnant again. You've had too many children already." And the guy who was also a worker said to me, "Did he just order her not to have any more babies?" I said, "Sound like it. I don't know. Was she going to go to jail for having another baby?" I would violate that one if I were her. I would have said, "Oh, I'm going to have another."
That's what I would be fearful of. So you just don't make that order.
Can you imagine that? I mean,
Yes, I'm pretty sure I know who it is, and I'm
Oh, do you really?
pretty sure. I'll tell you on the break. My first guess. But it's one of those things where I think it was more of it wasn't an order. It was just a precautionary. If you keep doing that.
How do you know? I mean, how do you know when you're in court what's an order and what's not?
I know, but because I'm an attorney, but I guess the average person wouldn't necessarily know.
So that lady should have said to her attorney, which I don't think she had one. I think she was just
by
answering.
herself.
But if it was juvenile, then he was actually talking to the mom, so she was only there as the parent. She wasn't actually there for the case.
Yeah, that's probably yeah.
So when you have those juvenile cases, is there somebody else that they deem as a representative for that juvenile outside of the parents, if that's where the issue lies?
Well, they'll have a public defender, if that's what you're asking, because they'll always get a public defender.
Oh.
And then they also sometimes will have DCF come in and step in.
Oh,
And
my
guardian,
gosh.
And sometimes there's a guardian ad litem depending on the situations.
Call Vanessa.
Oh, my gosh.
Meet Vanessa in her office if you need any legal help. Her number is 804-0092. Vanessa Lane Jennings. Thank you, Vanessa.
You're welcome. Y'all have a great day.
We'll be right back.
Casting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Florida becomes the first state where the Zika virus has been transmitted locally.
Governor Rick Scott and health officials now say 4 people likely got infected with Zika by a mosquito, and that infection took place in a specific neighborhood just north of downtown Miami, traditionally known as Edgewater. The 4 patients are not hospitalized.
Fox Radio's Eben Brown, it's back on the campaign trail the morning after Hillary Clinton's historic speech.
The first time that a major party has nominated a woman for president.
She kicks off a bus tour throughout Pennsylvania. Donald Trump makes stops in Colorado. We're learning there's been a cyber attack against the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, which confirms it's a target of cybersecurity incident. And the Marine Corps says a pilot is dead after one of its fighter jets crashes in the California desert during a training session. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Hey, it's me, your car. No, it's not the voice of your car phone or your GPS that gives you driving directions. I'm sorry to interrupt your tunes, but we need to talk. Take a look around. I'm not the new car I used to be. The season's dirt and mud really did a number on my carpet here. And that iced coffee you spilled, whoo, that didn't help. And with the rain showers and all, I know it's going to be a real mud bath in here. So do me a favor and get a set of WeatherTech floor liners. Got it? Now, how about a wash and detail? What do you say?
WeatherTech floor liners and cargo liners keep your vehicle's carpets safe from spills and messes. Made of the highest quality materials and laser measured, WeatherTech floor liners are specifically designed for your vehicle. And they're made in America. If it could talk, your vehicle would thank you. Order yours today at WeatherTech.com or call 1-800-CarMats. WeatherTech. Complete protection, completely American made.
It's time for Farm and Ranch headlines on the Southeast AgNet. I'm Tyron Spearman reporting. Mars Chocolate is wasting no time targeting the largest segment of today's population, the millennials. They spoke this past week at the Southern Peanut Growers Conference as Mars Chocolate is celebrating 75 years. They're now jumping to social media. Anne Marie DeLorenzo said that their strategic sourcing manager is suggesting that they go through social media channels such as Facebook and Instagram to really connect with the millennials